Plaintiff Hakeem McLawrence grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and he used to sell drugs. And as a result, he got into 2 shootouts. Hakeem claims he eventually stopped selling drugs, went to college, and turned his life around. And he's suing his former roommate for rent because he moved out before their lease expired. Defendant Brandon McCallan says he has never sold drugs, but he does use drugs and considers himself to be a productive pothead. Brandon insists he never agreed to live with Hakeem for the duration of the lease, and therefore he denies owing him for rent.
Prove your case.
First off, I'd like to say that I respect you. You are inspiration to me. I understand you're from the streets of Detroit. Well, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, where we have 2 rules. Either you sling rock or shoot rock, which basically means either you sell drugs or you play basketball. Mm-hmm. I chose to sell drugs, which I'm not too proud of. I did a lot of things I'm not too proud of, but also I continued selling drugs till 2005, where I got into 2 shootouts. One of my friends got shot in the neck, which he's temporarily paralyzed right now. And I also got threatening messages to my family to either I stop selling drugs or they will be killed or whatever. I decided, at this point in my life, it was not for me. Selling drugs had its purpose, but I decided I wanted to see a better view of life. So I decided to take my life and move to Ohio. In 2006, I registered at Wright State University, which is a school in Dayton, Ohio. My major is organizational leadership. I chose that major because I want to be a leader in several organizations, and also I want to be a leader in my community just like you.
Good. Proud to hear that. Proud to hear that. Proud to hear that. And by the way, Brooklyn is a tough borough. Some people I've heard compare it to Detroit. Like you say, a lot of drugs going down, a lot of shooting going down, and a lot of other things. Brooklyn is a great town, though, or borough. I'm proud to hear you've moved on to overcome your obstacles, and glad to hear that you're looking to return the help that has been given to you. So congratulations, man. I'm proud to hear that. What's your story?
Well, I've never sold drugs in my life. I do use them.
All right. Is that a weed head?
I am.
Weed heads don't do anything. Literally.
Oh man.
They sit home and smoke that weed all day and just sit there and won't do a thing.
I'm not one of those people. I consider myself a productive pothead, but
what do you do? We're gonna get to the rent, but what do you do to make yourself productive?
Eat Doritos.
Well, I
eat Doritos after you. Go ahead.
No, I actually am. Well, I was a medical marijuana user. I did have my license, and I wasn't always just buying from the weed man. I was going to the stores, doing it the legal way.
What's your disability or your pain? What is it that causes you pain?
I was in a car accident a long time ago, and I had a lot of back pain, and at times the back pain kind of prevents me from sleeping.
Marijuana relieves it?
Oh yeah.
Puts you to sleep for sure. If that's true, I'm not gonna come down on you. If you're smoking at night to relieve the pain and going to sleep,
right,
I give you a pass.
Yeah, I'm not.
What are you doing during the day to be productive?
Going to school, working.
Good. Good enough. All right, yeah.
He don't go to school.
He said he ain't doing none of that. All right, I'll give him a pass today.
All rise. This court is now in session.
If you're in Chicago and would like to attend a taping of the Judge Mathis Show, call us at 1-866-3-MATHIS. Defendant Brandon McCallan rented an apartment with the plaintiff, and he claims when he met the plaintiff, he was the biggest drug dealer in their neighborhood.
Why are you suing him for rent?
This young man right here, the defendant, I met him in 2009. At that time I was still selling a little weed here and there to, make ends meet to supplement for my part-time job I had.
Going through your transition.
So I met him through a mutual friend. We did several transactions, business together. He was living with the mutual friend I met, and it wasn't working out. So I was like, you know what? We could move in together. I have a kind heart. I understand your situation. I look out for you. So we decided, we're gonna get a place together. So my lease is ran out in November, so I was like, Brandon, we might as well just get a 2-bedroom apartment because I don't want you to be, sleeping on my couch and my floor when I'm bringing my honeys over. That's not gonna look good for me.
Right.
Because at that time I only had a 1-bedroom. So I was like, I'd rather you have your own room. So he's like, okay, fine. So we went to several different places trying to get an apartment, and they ran his background, and it came back that he had like a felony on his background. I'm like, you don't know you had a felony? He's like, I don't know about no felony. You don't know you had a felony? He's like, no, I don't. I'm like, how you know you don't got a felony on your background? If the police pull you over, you going to jail. So I was like, you know what, to make it easier, I'm gonna go ahead and get everything in my name, everything. And then all you have to do is just pay your half. The rent was $425, so he was supposed to pay $212.50 for rent.
Beginning when?
Beginning December, because we had November prorated for us moving in late towards the end of the month. I got a copy of the lease.
All right.
I'm saying if you want to see. During that time, I kind of had to relapse into my hustler mentality, so I kind of got arrested.
What were you doing?
I was still selling the weed, and I guess
before that, you were selling crack in New York.
New York, right? So,
and let me just tell folks, and I've rarely admitted this, when I was going through my transformation after I got out of jail, after serving 9 months, and had gotten my GED, for about another 6 to 12 months, I had little small hustles.
Yeah, because you
don't transition immediately.
You don't.
You go incremental transformation. So I understand that, sir. And in fact, I used to throw the 3-card money on the college recreation center, on the pool table. I had all the college kids throwing their money down. I was conning them out of their money. In fact, that's how I met my wife. She flipped over the card and didn't have a dime down. Flipped over the right card, the red card, and didn't have a dime down. Just busted me and my man. She said, he's working with him over there. His buddy, which no one knew. Right. So she busted my con and been busting me ever since. Nonetheless, so
I got arrested. But before I got arrested, I called Brandon. I was like, there go my keys, there go my phone. The lease about to run out. We about to get the new crib. Just tell my girlfriend that I got arrested because nobody knew I got arrested. So I went to jail for like 25 days. During that time, he's living in my house comfortably. So I got out of jail December 10th, and at that point I decided, you know what, I'm done with it. I don't want to go to jail. Jail is not for me. There's no girls in jail. You know what I'm saying? So I just can't do jail. Anyway, the rent was due. So at that point, I didn't have my half, but my family, they was going to supplement it for me because they know I just got out of jail. But
so when did he move or fail to pay?
His moms ended up paying the $212. Like I guess he called his moms, and it was
so
like.
How does he owe the rest?
He just left.
Okay.
He left without
and
giving me.
And you're suing him for the balance of the lease?
Yes.
Defendant Brandon McCallan rented an apartment with the plaintiff, and he claims when he met the plaintiff, he was the biggest drug dealer in their neighborhood.
Sir, what do you want to tell me?
He's over here saying that he's trying to better himself and he stopped selling drugs, and that's a lie. Because when I met him, he was the biggest weed man in the city.
What is he doing now, sir? He said what he's doing now. Is he still selling weed now?
Probably.
Probably. So you have no clue.
I no longer live in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Why not?
I moved back to California.
Did you move in with him?
Yes, but I never told him that I was going to stay there for a certain amount of time.
Well, how long did you intend to stay?
Just until I got a job and I could afford my own place.
And you would move out on it?
Right.
And leave him in a lurch with a 2-bedroom?
Actually,
you think you could do that? Let's get a 2-bedroom together, and then you can just up and say, well, I got me a job now. Good luck to you. Thanks for getting that 2-bedroom when I needed to use you, but I hope you can get through because I'm not giving you a dime. I'm moving.
No, that's not
how it don't go that way. That's why you got to pay him the rest. $2,125, sir. Even though you didn't sign a lease, you put him in what is called detrimental reliance, is what it's called. He relied on you to his detriment. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I got one more thing to say. He talking about he was going to move out when he found a job.
Don't say anything else.
I just got one.
Don't. You should not say another.
You would love this, though. You would love it, I swear. This is how ambitious he is. It snowed one time in Ohio, right? He told me, yo, we don't got no money, we don't got no food. I'm going to go out shoveling. This man went out and shoveled for 20 minutes, came back with $5. That's when I knew
He didn't intend to pay you a rent.
He wasn't trying
Let's
to do
leave it alone because you just said that's when I knew.
You're right.
Tell people to be quiet after they win. They need to be quiet.
That's crazy.
I gotta give him another chance to talk. What do you want to say?
He did not get that 2-bedroom apartment just for me and him. He has a child on the way. I was only supposed to stay there.
On the way.
Exactly. I was only supposed to stay there for a certain amount of time. I was not supposed to stay there for a whole year.
But you didn't discuss what time.
Exactly.
We did discuss.
You just said you didn't earlier.
We
Do
never
you remember
discussed.
saying that earlier?
Yes, I
so
do.
you lied. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Good job. Hey, all I gotta say, man, is like, you know I don't sell drugs no more, bro. You keep it real.
I don't know what you
I
do,
don't
bro.
smoke. Keep it real, man. Keep it 100.
The only reason why you don't smoke is because you got arrested for drug trafficking, dog, and you get drug tested.
I left it alone. Why you can't just be real with it?
I don't know what you do. Whatever.
You is a bum, dog. Get your
You
life
a
together,
bum.
man.
Go back to Ohio and go
clothed you,
sell
bruh.
drugs, dude.
I clothed you and drenched
Go back
you,
to
dog.
Ohio and go sell drugs.